With the introduction of Power BI's modeling MCP, development is changing as we know it in Power BI. But you first may be wondering, what is an MCP? Well, an MCP stands for Model Context Protocol, which means AI tools such as Claude, ChatGPT, Copilot are able to understand structured data and in this case interact and edit our datasets in Power BI. And what that essentially means is things like writing calculations, building our data models can all be done by simply prompting an AI, and it's surprisingly very good at doing so, and it is and will be a game changer for how we develop our Power BI datasets. For example, if you spend hours building calculations, well, it can do that in a couple of minutes by asking a few questions, and the calculations are surprisingly accurate using known DAX templates and logic it's able to produce. And I'll showcase more of that in this video, and I'll also show you how to set this up yourself. It's really simple to do, so I highly encourage actually giving this a go, as you'll be shocked in terms of what it can do for your development speed, and really it's where Power BI and the industry as a whole is heading in terms of a developer workflow. So on that note, let me first start off by introducing myself. I'm Raja, the Power BI guy, and I teach Power BI, SQL, and just general data content. So for more videos like this, do like and subscribe. But on that note, let's just go ahead and get started. So I'll start off by showcasing what it can do, and then at the end of this video, demonstrate how to set this up yourself. Let's start our development by building a date table, as that's the first stage of any development, is setting that up. Now previously you would have had to written DAX or found a date table and brought that in, where now you can simply say build a date table, and then if we enter that, we can see Claude has been able to identify the order date within our Superstore orders table, identified the date range, and now we can see that's inserted a date table inside of our dataset. And if we go to our modeling view, we can also see it's built a relationship between the two tables. So let's say we bring in our categories and then introduce, let's say, our month names, that it's generated itself. That relationship is working between the two tables without us having to actually write any code itself to generate this date table. So moving on, the next stage of a development would to be creating basic calculations and aggregations for things like sales, how many orders do we have, average order size, and you would typically do that at the start of your development, where now we can simply ask Claude, build us a measure table with basic aggregations, and we haven't even specified what aggregations to do. So what Claude is doing is going through our Superstore orders table. It's identified the sales, quantity, discount and profit column, and all by itself it's created a measures table with various metrics for sales, profit, orders, quantity, and so on and so forth. And if we look at our dataset, it's now produced folders, so it's even organized our measures into their own folders. But we can see the average order value is produced an orders count based on the order ID, and then for our quantity, sales, it's built all of these metrics without us having to specify what to do. It's simply identified based on the columns what it can do these calculations on. So for example, if we build some card visuals, let's bring in our total quantity, total sales, our total shipping cost. That's all been generated from our measures that Claude has generated. If we copy this, and then let's test the results by bringing in the quantity column, it's got the same result. our total sales, the same result again, and then for the shipping cost, once again, it has the right result. So that's an example of baseline measures it's created itself. Let me quickly hide this column. And now, let's do some time intelligence to show things like sales in the previous year or the previous month. And instead of writing the calculations ourselves, let's go to Claude and say, produce me time intelligence calculations, such as previous month, year over year, rolling averages, etc. We're going to keep that open. And now it's taking a look at all of the measures that we have, so the base measures. And as a result, we can see it's now created 28 measures for the various base folders. So in our Power BI dataset, we can see this time intelligence folder, where it's now done orders previous month, year over year. If we go to our profit table, once again, it's even worked out things like the profit margin. So let's test one of these results, where we build a matrix table, and I'll close some of these folders. And if we bring in, let's say, the month name into our columns, let's bring in some categories into our rows. And first, what I'll do is let's sort our month name by the month number. And now if we bring in, let's say, our sales into the values and then bring in our time intelligence, and it's built a previous month, where we can see the calculation looks correct, where it's total sales, date add -1. So I expect that result to be correct, but we can test that where we can see the January sales was 228,000. And then in February, the sales previous month is once again matching what the previous month's value was. So at this stage, we probably have 40 plus measures. Let's now do something slightly more advanced, where we ask it to segment our product subcategories based on the quantity sold. So in our dataset, we have the quantity sold column. We want to bucket our subcategories based on them being either high volume products, low volume, or medium. So what we can do is go to Claude and say, bucket our orders based on the quantities column. And as we can see, it's doing the correct thing, where it's working out the distribution. So in our column, how many orders do we have? And then it said single for 1 order, small 2 to 3, and so on and so forth for the various order sizes. And we can see it's now generated a new calculated column based on that distribution. So for example, if we go to our quantities and then select, let's say, 14, we can see that's a bulk order as there's 10 plus items. So if we go back to our report page, we could create a new table and say, what's our average sales per customer in that bucket? So if we bring that in and bring in our average sales, our medium bucket has the most average sales, and this has all been generated with insight and measures Claude is generating for us. So moving on, at this stage, we've created a series of measures and calculations, but this might be difficult to understand as we're just generating so many through AI. But what we can do is ask Claude to add comments to explain every calculation. Add comments inside our DAX calculations, explaining what they do. Claude has detected there's 43 measures, and now within all 43, it's going to add comments explaining what they do. And as a result, we can now see Claude has been able to document all of our calculations, explaining what it does, which is massive, as when you open most Power BI reports, people don't explain what their calculations are doing, and it's simply able to do that by understanding what the column is, the calculation, and then adds that as a comment. And then in terms of commenting, if we take a look at our data model, right now our descriptions are completely empty. Well, we can ask Claude to give descriptions to our various columns. Now this is important, especially in the age of AI, where this context is useful in that semantic layer. So if we ask it to give descriptions for all of our columns, and let's say even our measures, we can simply specify add descriptions for all of our columns. And now it's identified we have 21 columns inside our tables, and it will start to insert descriptions for all of them based on our data set. So for example, country now has a description. The column country is where the order was delivered. So let's say someone asks an LLM, where do we sell our items? This additional context of delivered and country is going to aid in that process. So we select customer name, segment. We can see it's adding additional context even from within the column itself. And that's massive, because if someone says, I want to see which customers are ordering from the corporate division, corporate segment, well, we now have that available as metadata at the column level. So without the AI even having to go into that column, it can see that from the description, which is massive and can later be used to produce documentation. So on that note, if we ask Claude, produce me a file which documents our Power BI model, columns, measures, etc., it will then produce us and be able to extract everything from our dataset. And now that it's done that, let's take a look at the documentation, where it's given us a summary of the sources, the row counts, how many tables we have, the relationship between our various tables, and then a list of all of our columns, the description, even to the point where it's showing us the buckets that exist within the calculation itself, the formatting of our various columns. It's insane how detailed this actually is and how accurately it's actually able to pull this now compared to even, let's say, 6 months ago. So I'm now going to cover how to connect Claude to Power BI Desktop by using the Power BI Modeling MCP. Now, the first thing that you need to do is install Visual Studio, where you can find that on code.visualstudio.com. And then once you've installed that, let's then install Claude Desktop, which you can find on claude.com/download. And then we should have both Visual Studio and Claude installed on our machines. So once we have them installed, let's go to Visual Studio. And then what you need to do is go to extensions. And if you then search Power BI, you'll find Power BI Modeling MCP server, and that's been created by Microsoft, so we can see the certification with the tick. So if we then select that, we can then install the Power BI Modeling MCP by simply selecting Install. Now I currently have that installed already, so it says uninstall, but for yourself, you simply want to select Install. And then once that's installed, the relevant files will go onto your machine, which we're now going to locate for connecting that with Claude. So once you've installed your MCP, I then want you to open up your File Explorer, and then we need to locate where that's been installed. So we can do that, as we know it's in VS Code. So what we can do is search our user profile, and then if we write .vscode / again to go to our extensions folder, and now we have all the extensions that have been installed within VS Code. So what I want you to do is then locate Analysis Services, Power BI Modeling MCP, as that's what we've just installed. Then go to Server, where we can find the Power BI Modeling MCP and the file path for this that we need. So what I want you to do is copy the file path. Now depending on your Windows version, we can either copy this here, or if you go to Properties, you can find the location where that file path exists. And what I want you to do is simply copy that and retain that on your clipboard. Now once you've copied that, you can then head to Claude, where if you go to File, and then Settings, go to Developer, and as I already have that installed, that's appearing here. Now as you haven't installed that, you won't see this, so what you need to do is select Edit Config, which then opens up where Claude has been installed, and then you need to find this file Claude_desktop_config. Now I want you to open up this file, open it with VS Code, and you'll find you don't have this script within your window. So within the description of this video, I'll paste this script there, and what I want you to do is simply copy that script and then replace the file path with the file path that you copied previously, and where you have a single backslash, make sure they're all double, and then if you copy that and place that into your config file, simply select Save. And at that stage, we've now linked the config in Claude to be able to reach the Power BI Modeling MCP. So what I want you to do is save that and then restart your Claude. And then once you've restarted Claude, you'll find the Power BI Modeling MCP appearing within your developer settings. And then to simply connect Claude to the existing file that you have, open up a Power BI desktop file. So for example, I have this demo file opened up already. What you can do within the chat of Claude is say connect to, and then specify the file name. In Power BI desktop. And as that MCP is running, it will show us that as working, and then it will say connected to the file that we've specified. And we can quickly test that, where if I say build a date table, I spelled that wrong, but it's smart enough to understand what I wanted. We can see Claude has connected to our dataset, found the date range, and as we expect, it will now create a date table directly within our dataset, as we've now set up the MCP connection between Claude and Power BI. So go ahead and do that. It's a lot of fun and really is an accelerator. So I'll leave it there in terms of this video. Hopefully that was useful. And as always, it's the Power BI guy, and I'm now checking out.